Hey, 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 beautiful people. This is Mika, and I hope that all is well with you. I hope that you have had a phenomenal day. Yes, yes, yes. Listen, it has been a good day for me indeed. Hello, hey, Miss April. So good to see you. Oh my goodness, like I have been so excited about this word. When I say like the way he dropped this on me Saturday morning, and I actually pre-recorded it. I recorded it on Saturday morning. Oh my God, it's so good to see you. Hello, 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 everybody that is coming on. Listen, I was just explaining that God gave me this word on Saturday morning. And I was like, what? Like, it's pretty yummy. It was pretty yummy. So, this is entitled Transitioning Out of the Trap. And yes, so for my advertisement, I had like a little trap house. It's purposeful, okay? It is purposeful. So I absolutely made sure that I sent out an invite to the people, let people know, like, hey, for those people that love God, but also they're a head buster. For those people that say, you know what, I love a little Cardi B, a little Megan Thee Stallion. I trap a little, but I still love God. Look, I'm looking to. So if you got some friends, I'm looking to reach them today. There's a word today. There's a word. So without further ado, we are going to go ahead and get ready. We're going to get ready to receive this word, okay? All right, listen, I'm not really trying to be like real preachy or anything, but what he gave me was just like, ooh, wee, wow, okay? Ooh, wee, wow. So I'm going to take y'all back a little bit, take you back. So remember back in the day, it used to be a song say, meet me in the trap. It's going, like, you had a whole little movers, right? Meet me in the trap. It's going down. Listen, used to be my theme song. Yes, I was in church. Yes, I was going to church. Yes, I was on the praise team. Please hear me. But I was still about that life. You understand me? You said what? Oh, okay, because I'm just saying. So I remember there was a situation where I felt like this young lady had been harassing me. I remember driving down the street one day and she hit a U-turn so she could get behind me. And I had called the police on her and they had said she sat outside of my apartment, and I called the police and they were like, until she does anything, we can't do anything, ma'am. And I was just like, what? So I had just gotten tired of all the phone call situation, and I had just gotten to the point where I was just like, when I heard Meet Me in the Trap, I was like, it's going down. Like, in real life. Like, I wasn't saying in real life then, but that's where I really was. Like, I was just tired. And at that point, I wasn't aware that it was really a spirit. I didn't realize that it was a harassing spirit. I didn't. Even though I know that the word says that, we don't wrestle against flesh and blood. But for me, flesh and blood was showing up. So I had something for flesh and blood, okay? So I remember being at this park, and I had my daughter with me, and she was about 4, maybe 5 at the time. And I had said to the young lady walked up on me, and she began to talk very derogatory. And so I looked at her and I was like, listen, trying to be just as wholesome as I could. And I was like, hey, listen, I know that you don't really like me or care for me, and that's fine. But I'm just asking you to be respectful of me in front of my daughter. And she began to, really, that just, I don't know what it did to her, but it escalated. And she began to like really call me out my name. So I was like, oh, okay. Okay, cool. So I called my girl and I was like, hey, I'm giving you the short version because there's a longer version, more in-depth version. But I called my girl and I was like, hey, can you come get my daughter for me? I was like, yeah, because it's about to go down. Like, I'm tired. I'm tired. So she came and got my daughter. And so I went back to the young lady and I was like, so what you want to go ahead and finish what you were saying? Yeah, I think you ended off with, and then eventually there became a physical altercation between us. And I just thank God that like it didn't get to the point where I ended up getting locked up, but I did mess up my record, which we thank God for expungement, not just in the blood, in the spiritual and the natural. So we thank God for that. But what I realized, like I told you all that to say, like what I realized is that moment that I stopped, the moment that I stopped to call my girl to say, can you come get my daughter? Guess what? That was a way of escape. I did not realize that what was happening is that the enemy was looking to entrap me. It was a trap. Guess what? And I was, at the time, I was here for it. I was in agreement with what the enemy wanted to do to my life, which caused me to, which caused there to be delay in a job that was very profitable and all sorts of things. So let me just give you a definition. There's two definitions that I have here for a trap. So a trap is a device or enclosure designed to catch and retain animals, typically by allowing entry but no exit, or by catching hold of a part of the body. The second definition says it's a situation in which people lie in wait to make a surprise attack. So what God showed me was almost like a physical, yes, I thank God for his protection. But what God showed me was like a metal trap, right? We've all seen like the big traps that you may like catch a raccoon or something in. Well, he showed me like when we say like meet me in the trap, it's going down. Like for the first time when that song came to me, because like I'm a song person. So when that song came to me, meet me in the trap is going down, like I could see the door of the trap closing. And I was just like, what? Never looked at it like that before because, when you say it's going down, you know what I'm saying? You like, it's whatever. But what he was showing me was that was a way, it was a way that the enemy was entrapping me or entraps people. And what usually gets you in those type of situations is pride. Because had I decided to humble myself, see, my flesh would not have profited had I said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and leave. Because I'd have been worried. Because pride tells me to be worried about whether or not, that person is going to keep on talking crazy, whether or not this is going to happen again. And all of these are imaginations that's happening by what? By way of the enemy. The enemy is setting up this whole situation for me. Or he was setting up this whole situation for me. And the thing is, I was buying into it. I was buying into the trap. And the word tells us, according to 1 Corinthians 10:13, that there's no temptation, regardless of its source, has overtaken or enticed you that is not common to the human experience, nor is any temptation. So guess what that means? So therefore, there's nothing that you can face that nobody else has ever had to face. It may not look the exact same way, and we're not all tempted in the same way. But the truth is, the enemy knows what gets under your skin. The enemy knows how to draw you out. We're all enticed by different things. So what he does is he'll say, you know what? He'll set up a whole situation to cause you to say, you know what? Oh, it's cool. But the truth is, if he set up a trap, he expects for you to go in but never come out. But I thank God that he has given us a way of escape. But what he showed me is that you have to humble yourself and understand that your flesh is not going to profit by you stepping down. You have to stand down in order to really get the exit and not stay trapped. So you don't have to be trapped. You don't have to be trapped. Listen, God always causes us to win. He causes us to triumph in every situation. The only reason why he even allowed you, he even gave the enemy access to put you in a situation is because he already expected for you to win. He never expected for you to stand in agreement with the enemy, period. He didn't. So you are a winner. And in order to win, you have to be willing to be humble and say, you know what? This is not worth it. It might not feel good to you, but you win. And sometimes winning does not feel like winning, especially when you can't want your flesh to be happy about the win. It's your spirit man that needs to be happy about the win. Did you hear what I said? I said your spirit man will be happy about the win, but your flesh gonna be like, man, you're gonna have to bypass that. Override, we not listening to that. We're not listening because we have freedom. Freedom costs you discipline. You can only have real freedom if you discipline yourself. That means you tell you no. That means you tell you no. All right. So listen, let's talk about the trap house, y'all. Let's talk about the trap. The trap. Let's talk about the trap house real quick. So I really wish that I had like an actual trap, but just work with me. Just walk with me for just a minute. So the second definition of trap is a situation in which people lie in wait to make a surprise attack. Now, anybody that knows anything about the trap knows that there's like a trap house that you go to, right? You go in and out. Well, the thing is, the first definition of a trap was going in, but there wasn't an exit. So I'm going to bring this home for you. So when you go to the trap house, you're able to go in and then go back out, right? So that's the deceit. That's the deceit. See, we call it a trap, but then don't expect to get trapped by the trap. But I want you to know, like, I'm exposing the lie of the enemy on this evening. Because if it's defined as a trap, don't look at it any other way than what it is. It's a trap. So the thing is, you go in and out the trap house. You go in and out the trap house. But everybody knows that at some point in time that the trap house has been raided. But see, what happens is you've told your mind, or you've allowed the enemy to tell your mind, you know what, like, I know it's happened to other people, but it's not gonna happen to me. Not to me. Not to me. Like, I'm careful. Like, it just, like, I know it's happened to other people, but it's not gonna happen to me. That's the trap. And one of the things that I live by is only a trick if you don't see it. But if you do see it, guess what? That meant if you go along with it, then you stand in agreement with it. Leave that stuff alone. Like, this word is coming like as a warning. Like, stop playing. Stop playing with the things you know that you shouldn't be playing with. Here we go. Another one you probably didn't see coming. And that is having sex with somebody that's not your spouse. Regardless of whether you're married or not. But if you know that you are engaging in things that, listen, let me tell you what happens when you engage in sex with somebody that's not your spouse. For one, you get a soul tie to that person, which makes it harder to disconnect. But then you're also being an accomplice with the enemy to rob you from God's best for your life. There's something that's within you that tells you that, well, maybe I won't get, like, I'm not even worried about a spouse. I'm not. But then at some point, like, you may say to yourself, like, yeah, I really do want a husband. Or, you could be thinking to yourself, let's go ahead and just expose the thoughts of the enemy that he plants into your mind that say, you know what, if I go ahead and I do this and I do things to a great level and I work real hard and I show him how I can do this and I show him how I can do that, then surely one day he gonna go ahead and expose, or he's going to dispose of that one, and I'm the replacement because I'm better. Like, do you see the pride? Do you see the pride in that? It's deceiving you. You will never have to go against God in order to get something that God has for you. Period. Period. That means that you don't have to manipulate, because manipulating people is deceiving. And that's a trap in itself as well. Like, God has so many more things for you. And like being involved, like emotionally involved with somebody that you know is like emotionally unavailable, it's also a trap. It's a trap. Because the more and the more that you give of yourself to this person that's emotionally unavailable, you find yourself pulling and trying to make and trying to, well, if I do this, and that's performance based again. If I do more, this person will eventually, like, I'm going to win them over. And they are going to choose me to be first. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie, sis. It's not the truth. That thing will have you tied up in something when you should be getting healed so that you can be in position to get everything that God really has for you. Okay? So, I want to tell you that the way up is to put down the weights that cause you not to go up. All the things that I just mentioned, None of that lifts you up. And that's another thing, going back to the song, is going down. All these traps that the enemy has for you, when you think about like the emotional state that you get in order to be in those situations, like it causes everything to go down. But the things that God has for you, goodness, he has prosperity, he has wealth, all those things take you up. They take you up. So you have to humble yourself, though. You have to humble yourself in order for you to get the good things. You have to tell yourself no in order to get the good things, for things in order to go up. So instead of saying like, meet me in a, no, I'm not going into the trap. I see the trap and I refuse to be a part of it. Okay? All right. So, the other thing was just about manipulation. You don't have to manipulate. And just in case you didn't know, it's not of God. Like, it's just not. So like, let's leave that alone. God, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. So let me tell you something about lying. So the enemy is the father of lies. He's the father of them. So if that be true, why even play with that? Why even play? Like, I want you to know it's a trap. It's a trap. So tonight, like, please, like, do a self-analysis of where you have found yourself in agreement with the enemy. And then stop allowing yourself, like, to be in situations. Know that God has a circle for you. And if you have been surrounded by people that keep drawing you back to that, and the advice that they give you is attached to things that are going to cause things to go down for you, you're going to have to get to a place where I pray that you get the strength and the courage to connect to people that are going to be able to speak life into you, that are going to be able to cause things in your life to go up. Because that's the only direction that you really should be going in. It's up. You should be intentional about making sure that everything in your life is up. So if you find yourself in a trap, I pray that you choose life and to escape from it. And know that you win. You win. Because all we do is win, 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 no matter what. With God on our side, we ain't never giving up. Okay? So it's time to go up, y'all. It's time to go up. Because see, the truth is, a lot of times, the things that we find ourselves in, like, the things that are wrong, we honestly, most of the time, already know. We know. But there's something that keeps telling us, you know what? But it won't be me. Break up, divorce that thought process today and live life more abundantly, and know that every good thing, listen, if you walk with God, if you walk close to God, you will not miss anything. He won't let you. He will not allow you to miss anything. So that boo, that bae that you may be connected to, that you really shouldn't be connected to, that you already know within your heart doesn't belong to you, let it go so that you can get what you really deserve to have. Okay? Oh, Oh, and let me say this. One thing before we go, because we getting ready to close out. But anytime God is looking to elevate you, he uses relationships. He uses relationships. So the enemy does too. So when he wants to be a distraction to you, he wants to have his way in your life, he also uses relationships. So pray about your connections. Pray about the relationships that you have currently and the ones that you're possibly pursuing. Seek him. Like he told us, if we seek him in all of our ways, to acknowledge him and that he will direct our paths. Like take the time and allow him to direct your pathway, because you were created to what? To win. So things are not going down for you. They're going up. All right? Alrighty, well, that is all that I have this evening. Hello, hello, hello. For those that just now joining us, we are closing out. Thank you so much for everyone that tuned in, both live and replay. I truly appreciate you. I hope that you have a wonderful, rest-filled, and purpose-filled, peaceful night. Know that God is with you. And if he's for you, he's more than the world against you. Alrighty. Love you life, guys. Bye.